The Korean Mafia insisted on feeding her because she was pregnant. June had learned one thing early in life. Never expect kindness. Not from strangers. Not from family. And especially not from men. At 26, she had already seen enough disappointment to last a lifetime. Growing up in a small apartment on the edge of the city, she watched her mother struggle alone while her father drifted in and out like a passing storm, loud, destructive, and gone before anything could be fixed. Love, to June, had always come with conditions, with pain, with silence. So when she found out she was pregnant, she didn't cry out of joy. She cried because she was alone. The man responsible had disappeared the moment she told him. His last message still burned in her mind. I'm not ready for this. After that, nothing. No calls. No support. No explanation. Just emptiness. Days turned into weeks, and survival became her only focus. She quit her job at a cafe when the long hours became unbearable. Her savings ran thin. Meals became smaller. Sometimes she skipped them entirely, telling herself she'd eat later. But later didn't always come. One cold evening, as the city lights flickered to life, June walked slowly down a quiet street, holding her stomach as a sharp wave of hunger hit her. She hadn't eaten since the day before. I'll be fine, she whispered to herself. Just a little longer. But her body disagreed. Her vision blurred. Her steps became unsteady. And then, darkness. When June opened her eyes, she didn't recognize where she was. The ceiling above her was too clean, too bright. The air smelled faintly of medicine and something warm, like soup. She shifted slightly, wincing as her body protested. Don't move too much. The voice was calm, deep, controlled. Startled, June turned her head. A man stood near the door, dressed in a black suit. His posture was straight, his expression unreadable. Behind him, another man leaned against the wall, arms crossed, equally silent. Fear gripped her instantly. Where am I? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. No answer came right away. Instead, the first man stepped closer, placing something on the small table beside her bed. A tray, warm food, rice, soup, vegetables. You need to eat, he said simply. June stared at the tray, then at him. I don't understand. That's not important right now. His tone wasn't harsh, but it wasn't gentle either. It was firm, like he had already decided what was best for her. I don't have money, she said quickly, panic rising. If this is a hospital, I can't. It's already taken care of. Her breath caught. Why? The man paused. For a brief moment, something shifted in his expression. Not softness, exactly, but something close. You collapsed, he said. You're pregnant. June instinctively placed a hand over her stomach. Yes, you haven't been eating properly. It wasn't a question. She looked away, embarrassed, ashamed. I've been fine. You haven't. Silence filled the room. June felt tears stain her eyes, but she blinked them back. She refused to cry in front of strangers, especially men like them, men who looked like they belonged to a world she had only heard whispers about. Dangerous men. Who are you? She asked carefully. The second man by the wall chuckled softly, but said nothing. The one closest to her finally answered. You don't need to know. That answer didn't comfort her. If anything, it made her more uneasy. Then, why are you helping me? Again, silence. Then, eat first, he said. Talk later. June hesitated. Every instinct told her to be cautious, to question everything. But the smell of the food, her stomach tightened painfully. Slowly, she reached for the spoon. The first bite hit her like warmth spreading through her entire body. She hadn't realized just how hungry she was until that moment. She ate carefully at first, then faster. Neither man spoke. They simply watched. And for some reason, that made her even more nervous. I'm sorry, she said between bites. I must look. Keep eating. She froze. The man's voice had softened just slightly. Don't apologize for that. June blinked, surprised. No one had ever said that to her before. Over the next few days, things only got stranger. She wasn't discharged. Instead, She was moved to a quiet apartment, clean, fully furnished, and far nicer than anywhere she had ever lived. Every day meals arrived, fresh, warm, balanced, and every day the same man visited. She eventually learned his name, Min Jun. He never smiled much, never spoke more than necessary, but he always made sure she ate. "Finish everything," he would say, placing the food in front of her. At first, June resisted. "You don't have to do this," she told him one evening. "I'll find a job. I'll manage." Min Jun didn't even look up from where he stood by the window. "No," her eyebrows furrowed. "No, you're not working. That's not your decision. It is now." June felt a spark of anger. "You can't just control my life like this." Finally, he turned to face her. His gaze was steady, intense. "You collapsed from hunger." She swallowed. "You're carrying a child," he continued. "Until you're stable, nothing else matters." His words weren't cruel. They were certain. Don't miss part 2, hit subscribe, and stay tuned.